everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fun with Flags, where we teach each other about our respective countries. I teach my friend Soda about Israel, and he teaches me about Canada. Mr. Soda, apart from being extremely frozen, how are you?
I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, for those who don't know, now keep in mind where Snark lives in my country, it's actually colder. But here it's minus 16 with a minus 28 wind chill, and I'm pretty sure it's probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits minus 40 where Snark is. For some reason, the middle of our country is the coldest.
I don't know. So it's almost like in between two walls where like all the cold is.
More or less, it's like a wind tunnel in a way, I guess. And what's interesting too is that also directly affects Taco, because Taco is literally like a straight line down from Snark.
Yeah, well, we got terrorists who were running around breaching the fences on my side, so I'll take the cold. I much prefer the cold.
In terms of all that, I'm not really complaining. But when it comes to the weather, I would rather have your weather right now.
Thank you. You'd actually love my weather. It'll be like a mild breeze for you. What we're experiencing weather-wise.
Right now, I'm wearing long pants, wool socks, and an hoodie. That's how cold it is here.
And it's a Harry Potter hoodie.
Yes, my cousin for my birthday got this for me, but it was interesting because obviously clearly didn't know what was coming. But she texted me, "Is like, which Harry Potter house are you?" And I said, "Well, Gryffindor." And then the next thing I know, this showed up to my work. It's like, sweet.
Are you a Gryffindor?
I recently just retook the test, and I'm still a Gryffindor. Yeah.
Well, I'm a Hufflepuff, so
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I figured, but I refused to take the test for fear that I was right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Like, obviously, Slytherin goes a little dark, but I'm trying to think who out of we know would be a Ravenclaw. Probably Ben. No, Ben's a Gryffindor.
I'd say so.
Well, I'd say Ben's a Gryffindor just on the courage part alone, just because of all the courage he had to put out there on a daily basis.
He could also be a Hufflepuff because he's a very good friend.
That too.
I think. Do you think maybe Taco?
I think Frenchie would be a good Ravenclaw.
Yeah, Frenchie I can see. Taco also.
Yeah. Dave is Hufflepuff. Good friend.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about.
No,
we're not here to talk about Harry Potter or houses or whatever.
That's for a podcast. We're a podcast.
Yeah, we're here to talk. Actually, we could do a Harry Potter podcast one day. Let's put a pin in that for now. But before we start, if you haven't noticed the big background behind us and my name, today we are acknowledging 100 days since October 7th, the October 7th massacre, the biggest tragedy to hit the Jewish people since the Holocaust. And 132 hostages are still being held captive by Hamas, in addition to 4 other hostages who were kidnapped 9 years ago, ultimately totaling 136 hostages that need to be brought home to their families, and those who are no longer with us need to be properly buried on Israeli soil. So, today is 100 days all over Israel today. People have, I don't want to say celebrated, but again, acknowledged the 100 days. There's still going on a 24-hour protest showcase with celebrities from all over Israel and all over the world. World leaders are also giving speeches in that place. Universities all over Israel also acknowledged the day. Businesses closed down for about 100 minutes in recognition of the event. So I figured that since we are recording this on the 100 days, we're probably not going to upload it on the same day, but we are recording this on the 100 days of captivity. So me and Soda are going to take a moment of silence of no less than 100 seconds in honor of the 136 hostages. So,
I just want to say this out there. If anybody goes in the comments and starts being an asshole about this, I have no problem coming after you, just as a warning.
And I have no problem deleting them and blocking them. Just saying.
No, I won't. I will go after them.
Okay, after you go after them, I'll
Yeah.
scoop them up. So
All right. I'm gonna hit the timer now.
that's your ringtone.
That's my timer ringtone.
Okay, cool.
It's an Apple version of X gonna give it to you from Deadpool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like. So thank you for taking part in this with us. And let's move on to some more optimistic things,
Yeah.
like the topic. So last week was your turn. Supposed to be my turn, but I was tragically unprepared for
Oh,
how this is going to go.
a little bit of a little bit of an asterisk to my episode from last week. So after I found out last week how the egg carton was literally invented right there, I've told that to so many people, and their minds were blown that they started telling people they knew as well. Like nobody believed that something that trivial and important was invented literally right there.
And that's how information spreads. And we're going to see some interesting stuff here today. Now, as I was alluding to, last week was your turn where you shared with me and all of us watching in Canadians inventions or inventions invented in Canada by Canadians.
Yeah.
So now I'm going the flip side of that, and we're doing inventions that were invented by Israelis / in Israel / by Jews around the world, because
Right.
there's some gray areas in there somewhere. You'll see that.
I will say at this very moment, there is only one that I can specifically say for sure that I know, and that's because you recently told me it.
Which is
The flip phone.
why we're not going to talk about it. So because you already know.
Yeah,
so
that's the only one that I can say with certain at this particular moment that I know. There's probably going to be some that are like, oh, I do that, but I forgot.
Yeah. Some of these I'm going to say are going to be completely obvious, and you're going to go, well, oh yeah, of course. But some...
Like the snowshoe and the snow goggles.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got the official Wikipedia on it. Now, granted, it is very, 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 very long.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we're going to kind of skip some of these, mostly because many of the ones we're going to skip are different variations of the same thing or just improvements to existing things, like the flip phone.
Yeah.
But some of these are just... I honestly... One thing I can say that Israelis did not invent is Wikipedia, and it's evident because it was kind of messy, and I honestly could not find pictures for some of these.
Mm-hmm.
So we're either going to just completely skip them because they're not as important to what we're doing, or just briefly mention them. And of course, it is split into several different categories, and we're going to go through all these categories the way they are organized on the Wikipedia thing. Starting, of course, with the first category, mechanics. And the first thing that we're going to see here is the squeezer. You probably know what this is, right?
To me, looks like a press.
Close. It's to squeeze citrus and fruit, like oranges and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. So I know the concept. I've never seen one like this.
Well, it's a more traditional one.
Okay, that's fair. I'm mostly more familiar with the mechanical one and like the handheld, but I've never seen one like this.
Yeah, so this is the I think it's a more modern one, but the concept of these was invented by, I can't actually say Israeli because it was invented in 1928, before the foundation of the state of Israel, but it was invented by a Jew. And here's just, the ironic thing is that because he's a Jew who lived here before Israel was founded in 1948, technically speaking, he's considered Palestinian, a Palestinian Jew. But we're not going to get into that because some people like to pretend that some history doesn't exist. Anyway, so alongside that, there was also, and here's one of the things I couldn't find a picture for, a special method of separating gravel and rocks, which was mainly used for agricultural purposes. There was a bridge that I thought I had a picture for, but basically it's not really important because it wasn't properly used, but it was kind of a bridge for soldiers and, more importantly, tanks to cross over bodies of water. It was mainly used, it was intended to be used for the Suez Canal in the Yom Kippur War, but wasn't quite used as well. So I didn't include it on the list. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is the soft wheel. Do you know what this is?
I've never seen one with an inner design like that.
Yeah, apparently, according to what it says here, it's meant to be a sort of shock absorber and reduces the weight that the wheel has to take. It's mainly used for bicycles and wheelchairs.
You know what? I can honestly say I don't think that's actually made its way over here. Because something like that, I could definitely see something being mass use over in my side of the world. But no, that makes perfect sense. I don't know why that's caught on, or if it has, I just haven't seen it.
Maybe the wiki doesn't really mention when it was properly developed. And something I noticed that some of these were actually finalized and fully developed like a couple of years ago. So maybe that's why.
Possible. What I'm gonna do is, this is something I'm gonna do after the show, but I'm gonna keep a list of things like that just to see, so I can see if maybe they did make their way over here and I just never saw it. And I'll let you know of course. So what did you
what
did you call this one?
A soft wheel. I mean, hey, Soda, maybe this will finally get you to watch an episode after you recorded it. Because you never watch anything we do.
Well, that's because I don't like seeing myself or hearing myself.
Me neither, and I'm still doing it.
Yeah, but I have way more issues than you.
I mean, I'm forced to see this in the mirror every day I wake up and listen to this every time I speak. So
let's just say I had massive imposter syndrome. Okay, let's leave it at that.
All right, we can go on, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
So the next thing that was invented here, and this one I couldn't find the English. A lot of these I wasn't able to find the English names and English terms for them, so I'm just gonna say it out loud. Kham khasam.
You have a picture?
Yes, this thing.
Oh
no! It's not the shower.
Oh, okay.
Thing. It's this thing specifically. I needed the two pictures to show properly what it is.
Well,
it's the blue thing on the edge.
Yeah, I know what that is. I actually don't know what it is called, what the technical term is, but I know what that is.
It's basically meant to reduce the usage of water on pipes. We actually have another version that I couldn't find a picture for that's used on taps and faucets. It was mainly developed specifically
Yeah.
because of a serious drought in our area for a lot
Oh,
of years. The Go ahead.
sorry to see the one you're talking about on the faucet. I actually do have one for my portable dishwasher. I just don't know what they're called either. A order? It's like an A order or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. I couldn't
Yeah,
find the
it's
English
a
name.
hardware store.
Yeah, but see, the reason why we had to develop it is because the Sea of Galilee, which was for many years our only source of water, was dwindling, was getting lower and lower and lower because of the continuing lack of rain caused by global warming. But thankfully, that problem was solved thanks to something else that you'll see on the list in a couple of minutes, maybe 10, 20 minutes. But there's something to look forward to. Now, the next thing that I wanted to bring up is this thing, which is a blockade that a portable blockade specifically for blocking cars and trucks, which doesn't have a name according to the Wikipedia.
Hmm.
There's also a linear internal combustion engine, and this thing, which is an electrical motor with a topological single engine.
So I know for sure I haven't seen that one because I am not mechanically inclined. But that blockade, again, while I have not seen it, I'm sure we have some version of that over here.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
Can't imagine why you would need it more than us, but
Well, you'd be surprised.
what? By the way, we never discussed this. Where does Canada's water come from?
So like in my end, where my side, it's from the mountains, from the snow melting into the rivers, because the mountains connect into the rivers. So that's where all that comes from. Plus, we're also, like I'm 2 hours away from the ocean, so that's probably plays some part.
Yeah, but the ocean is salt water.
Right, but then, but then it gets to be through filtration processes, and we have water plants. But the water sources itself come from the snow that melts off the mountains.
All right, cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So the main sources of water was, or it still is,
yeah.
the Sea of
And
Galilee.
we do have a brand of water over here called Perrier, Avion. Sorry, Perrier is fucking carbonated water. Called Avion, which is filtered water straight from the mountains.
Cool.
Yeah. Pricey, a little bit on the pricey side, but it's my preferred bottled water.
All right. I just drink water from the tap.
So here's the thing here. I don't know if you have this problem here, but we have calcium problems in our pipes. So the water, like if you turn the hot water on, it comes out kind of like silty and stuff. So that's why I don't drink. Like, I mean, I will use it for cooking, and good enough for the dog because he will eat turds. But me, I've got one of these behind me, one of those water coolers for drinking water.
I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, some houses have this problem, but not mine. So I'm
right,
I'm fine.
and then like. There are ways to get around it, but since this is part of an apartment building and not my own actual house, I haven't done it. But you can get filtration systems that clean up your tap water and all that stuff.
Cool.
They're just crazy.
Now that's it for the mechanics category. The next category is robotics.
Ooh.
You're going to see some interesting stuff here, like the dolphin.
What's that?
It's mainly used to clean up pools. It's a robot for cleaning swimming pools or fishing pools.
That's what I'm going to add to the list.
Cool. Now here's one that I thought was very interesting: the rewalk system.
Okay, so I've definitely seen that, and I do know it exists over here.
Okay, cool. It's mainly intended to help people with disabilities or paralysis in the lower body gain walk to be able to walk again. On a similar note, we also have let's check out the name, the Spine Assist, which is a special system that helps doctors with spine surgery in real time.
That one I can actually, if you send me a picture of that one, I can actually reach out directly to some nurse friends of mine and ask them.
And while you're at it, ask them about this thing, the pill cam.
That exists over here.
So it's a pill. It's a pill with a camera inside that you swallow, and it helps the doctors
Mhm.
analyze uh, your internal organs better and see.
Are yours biodegradable?
I think. Well, I mean, when you say yours, it was invented here.
No, no, but I mean, like on your side of the world, does that particular object is it like does it dissolve in the person's system?
I never had to take one, so I don't know. But
Neither, but I know that's how they are over here. That
if
you
they
swallow
are,
it
if
dissolves.
that's how they are over there, that's
Okay,
uh, it stands to reason that that's what they are over here because this is where it was invented.
right, but I mean, like there are it's a little sidebar, but places do take inventions like that and do improve on it. So for all I know, it could have been an improvement. Who knows?
All right, for all I know too,
Yeah.
but somehow I doubt it. Now the next thing we have here is a pocket printer. It's a
Definitely
small
don't
print.
have that here.
It's a small printer that just prints stuff from your phone through an app.
Okay, so what we have over here, and I actually do have an example of this. So my printer is connects to an app on my phone, so I can print stuff from my phone to my printer. But there, I do not believe there are portable printers like that over here.
Maybe it's using similar technology.
Maybe.
The next thing here is this robot that basically assists with gardening and agriculture. Like it
Nope.
uh, helps sowing seeds and taking care of the plants and even picking some of the plants while it's at it.
To my knowledge, we still pay people to do that.
To my knowledge, too, I mean, a robot will never be as effective
Mhm.
as a person in that regard, but it does help save up a lot,
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. Then, and also the next in robotics, we have a robot for cleaning solar panels.
we don't have robots that just specifically clean solar panels over here,
Yeah,
but
but
I believe we do have things that exist like that.
yeah, but wherever those exist, remember, the idea was invented here.
Mhm.
This is where I'm going with is
Concept.
the concept was invented here alongside a robot for picking fruits off of trees.
Man, y'all are lazy.
No, we're just smart. I mean, if you actually to look at a proper map of Israel, and realize how much land from this tiny country is devoted to agriculture, you would understand.
I'm just busting your balls. Like, I'm sure things like that exist here, but to my knowledge, they don't.
All right. How much does Canada depend on internal agriculture?
Oh, dude, a lot of our fruits and vegetables come from here, from
Same
BC.
here.
Yeah.
Same here. And a fraction of the size of the country.
So, like I said, like I wouldn't be surprised that they exist, but just to my knowledge, they're just a massive workforce.
Now, that's it for robotics. Now for some household appliances like the Wonder Pot. Have you heard of the Wonder Pot?
That looks like a cake pan. There's a cake pan that resembles that.
It is for baking cakes, but it was mainly produced to be used on on a kitchen stove on the the
Oh yeah, not ours.
at the top.
Not ours.
Not so not yours. Okay, so this thing was invented here back in the 70s, I believe.
Okay, because the cake pan I'm talking about has been around a lot longer.
Cool. So this one was specifically for
Yeah.
the cooking stove.
The only difference is it doesn't have clearly have a lid. And bring it up the picture again. So the middle part, there's
Yeah.
actually I don't know if I can't tell in this picture if this has or not, but on ours there's a hole in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's just hollow.
So it's it's for donuts.
No, no,
Like-
no. I'm sorry. I'm blanking on the type of cake it makes.
All right.
Yeah.
And the next
If I remember,
is
I'll let you know.
what?
If I ever remember, I'll let you know.
Cool. Oh, we will talk about later. Now the next thing we have is the Epilady. It's a device to remove hair on women parts.
Yeah, we have ways to do that here too, but not like that.
Like Again, not a lady, so I never used it. I had no idea how that works.
Your mom?
But what?
As your mom?
I am not going to ask my mom about these things.
Touche, touche.
Now, here's one thing I could not for the life of me find a proper picture for, but it's the as an organizer for blind people, for the blind, a special organizer to put your things in, organize things, but specifically tailored towards the blind. Again, if I had found a picture, I could show it to you, but
If you
I
do,
did.
send it to me and I can ask around because I do not know of anything like that.
Me neither. I never
You know
heard of
what?
that.
I mean, I'm sure it's like that over there, but Braille is like the main way thing over here. So
No, I'm not talking about speech. I'm talking about an actual, like, uh, with drawers and shelves that you can put your own stuff in. We'll,
So
we'll talk.
basically, you're describing a filing cabinet specifically designed for
Well, not
blind.
so much a filing cabinet, but more like to put. Um, we'll talk later about
Yeah,
this.
this is one. If you do find a picture, send it to me.
Hold on. So this thing, but for the blind.
Oh, okay. Like we have that thing over here, but to my knowledge, I don't know if there's one for the blind.
Me neither, because I never needed to use one.
No, no.
Now, another thing that we have here, not so much a thing, but more of the company, a company called Rav Bariach, which produces really heavy locks.
Oh, so you invented the heavy duty locks then?
Yes. Now you can understand why this country more than most needs heavy duty locks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we our country invented this alongside the pladelet, which is doors made of steel.
Oh,
We don't have wooden doors on our houses. We have steel doors.
so your bastards are the cause for some of my back problems from carrying doors.
Hey man, if you needed the door, wouldn't that may make all the difference in the world?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so that was it for um, the household stuff, and now we're on to the biggest category, ironically, medicine. And oh my goodness, there are so many medicines and pills and whatnot and medications. We're just gonna rapid fire through some of these.
Mhm.
So so yeah, I actually did find pictures for some of these, for realizing that there are just so many that I don't need a picture for every single one. So we're just gonna rapid fire through. So the medicines developed in Israel. So we've got the Copaxone, and its uh, commercial rival, the Inter Interpron. Medicine names, people.
What do they do?
With me. Both of which are used to primarily help fight off against what is the name of this disease? Let me just very multiple
Sclerosis?
sclerosis. Yeah.
Okay.
So
To my knowledge, granted, I know what multiple sclerosis is. Don't know any of the treatments.
now you know two.
Yeah.
There's also the as Ezilket. Yeah, Ezilket. It's medicine to help treat Parkinson and Alzheimer's disease.
Okay.
There's ribostigmine, which is only for Alzheimer's for some reason. There's the doxorubicin, which is mainly to help treat breast cancer and ovaries cancer. Doxil, which is to treat what? What does it treat? Just general cancer. diseases. There's Angela, which apparently, yeah, because Israelis love puns.
Hmm.
It's a growth hormone to specifically help treat children with growth hormone deficiency.
Okay.
Yescarta, which is another cancer treatment. CAR T cells, another cancer treatment. Eleliso, which is against to treat against uh, Gaucher's disease.
Geisha's disease.
Sorry, let me just Gaucher
Okay.
Gaucher's disease.
It's like so a disease where you end up wearing a kimono and white face paint.
I'm trying to translate it on the fly. Okay,
And I'm just trying to get some laughs, 50. Unwind.
at my expense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm the Ellis to your Harloff.
well, if you're Ellis, then I think you might appreciate this. Actually, you can't be Ellis because you don't like Seinfeld.
It's not that I don't like it, it's just I have a hard time watching full episodes. It's hard. It's
Because you
hard.
don't
It's
like
hard.
it.
It's hard to get into a show about nothing.
That's the fun of it. Anyways, so the Nexo breed, which is a treatment to help treat burns. The the polyheal, which is meant to treat extremely hard wounds, hard to treat wounds. The ND0612, another Parkinson's treatment. Uh, Artificial blood vessels by genetic engineering. Photodynamic treatment for prostate cancer. Ugh.
Ouch.
And here's something that really blew my mind: a natural steroid that helps uh, uh, people get over drugs.
Okay.
Like a natural way to get over drugs.
Sounds like an oxymoron, but sounds cool.
Yeah, I suppose. A natural drug that helps you get rid of artificial drugs.
Hmm.
A substance that helps prevent uh, damages from radicals in cells. A laser treatment to help treat bad breath. I am not never going to try that. And implants of embryo stem cells in your eyes to help treat paralysis in the corneas.
Hmm.
The I think this one I do have a picture for. Let me see if that's the one. No, that I don't have this one, but it's a deep TMS helmet, which it's sort of like a helmet that helps uh, transmit electromagnetic waves into your cortex and helps treat mental illnesses such as depression, schizophrenia, epilepsy, and mania,
Hmm.
among others. There's uh, another treatment for what's it called?
Multiple sclerosis.
What? No, atherosclerosis.
Never heard of that one.
I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. And heart failure. There's another treatment for that.
You said that one right.
Exablade, which just improvements on MRIs, existing MRIs. There's a lot of these on the list are just improvements on the MRI
I
system.
just want to say I hope to God I never have to get an MRI.
Yeah, well, me too.
I'm claustrophobic.
Actually, I think I did once, but I don't think it was as bad as people say it is.
I'm claustrophobic.
I understand. I understand. Biological glue to help glue soft tissues. A way to 3D print heart tissues. Apparently, that's a thing now. and an Optune. Optune, and trigger warning for some of the people watching in the audience. It's this thing, which is a special helmet that helps treat uh, brain cancer.
I have never seen that in my life.
Yeah, and hopefully you never have to.
What is
Hopefully,
as an outsider? What does it do? Like I know it's you said it's for brain cancer, but I mean like what? How does it function? Because it just looks to me like he's just wearing a do rag.
it helps produce electric signals
Oh,
aimed at the tumor itself,
okay.
according to what it says here.
Hmm.
There's Gamora with two M's,
Mhm.
which is just a cure for HIV, or a treatment to help treat HIV. Uh, Circadine, which uh, helps treat sleep deprivation, and also artificial corneas.
Whoa.
So yeah, huge strides in the realm of uh, medicine. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, but there's a subcategory for medicine and medical processes, and there's another subcategory for medical treatments. I don't know why, or well, but whatever. So, okay, so there's a system to detect early signs of Parkinson using sound waves, voice waves, to be more
Mhm.
specific, voice sound waves. Um, there's a special device to help locate uh, sleep uh, issues. Hold on. Uh, Sorry, respiratory failure during sleep, and help to locate other diseases during sleep. I'm pretty sure it's this thing. Now that's a sleep sense, which it's also on the list, further down the list, but we'll get to it anyway. There's another helmet that helps locate brain bleeds, uh, bleeding, and there's this thing called Care, which is like a homemade uh, device to help homemade self checkup device.
Hmm.
Sort of like Baymax, but tiny and portable and less cute.
Oh no. Yeah.
There's special blood tests to help diagnose hereditary diseases in embryos.
Sorry, did you
On,
say special blood tests?
yeah, special blood tests.
That's what that word just didn't come out clear to me. I just want to make sure.
Okay. Special system to identify the SARS disease within
Oh,
an hour. Up, there's an optic device that can be put in a smartphone to help check cervical cancer, and the world's first ever digital CAT scan device technology.
cool.
Again, improvement on an existing
Hmm.
thing. Not not cat. We didn't invent CAT scan, just first digital version. There's a and there's this little wristwatch to help monitor vital signs, and a quick blood test that helps check to determine if changes in body temperature is viral or bacterial.
Hmm.
And then, of course, there's medical equipment like this thing, which is the Sharplon, whatever that means.
Hmm.
Basically, it's a laser scalpel.
Okay.
Yep. What else? A laser device to help treat glaucoma, whatever that is.
Glaucoma
I,
is the reason
I
Ricardo wears sunglasses. Actually, it's something to do with your eyes, and things like one of the treatments is actually oddly enough smoking marijuana.
okay. Special syringe to take blood from, what do you call, uh, babies who were born prematurely or born with deficiencies. What do you call that?
Um,
Pugs.
bugs?
Pugs. No.
No, we just call them premature babies.
All right. Uh, okay. So there's a lot of repeating stuff. So we're just gonna skip some of these more MRI stuff. Portable, an inflatable surgery room. Would have loved to have seen a picture for that.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the sleep sense that I mentioned earlier, which it's basically it's like the thing I said earlier. It's to help monitor your sleep while you're sleeping, and same thing for the heart view. No, that's another thing. Yeah, heart view, which again used on your phone to help monitor your heart. And then there's the MD cure, which is what this is, the thing that I just brought up prematurely. The that just helps uh, treat your blood flow with an electromagnetic field. There's what else? Did I have a picture? Oh yeah, a prepex. Can you guess what that is?
Not a clue.
It's a very cheap and easy to use device for circumcision.
Huh.
Now,
Because we all know we want that in our lives.
of course, it's mainly marketed towards third world countries to help prevent um, AIDS.
Not gonna lie, it is a concept that I'm glad doesn't happen much over here anymore.
What do you mean anymore?
Basically, before, like, in my dad's generation and all that stuff, it was way more common than it is now.
Circumcision, really?
Mm-hmm.
On Christians?
On anyone outside of the Jews.
Hold on, I thought Jews are the ones that get circumcision.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a common thing over here for many, 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 many years apparently to get it.
For Christians to get
For
circumcision?
anyone to get it.
Really?
Yeah,
Was it a mandatory thing?
I believe it was. Yeah,
Oh, I did not know that.
but it's not anymore.
Cool. Good for you. And let's see, some more L pills, and yeah. So that's it for medicine, and thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Now we also there's also in another subcategory, sorry, another new category, I should say, optics.
Okay.
The world's tiniest camera,
Ooh, interesting.
which also kind of connects to the previous category of medicine. It is a camera that its full size is 0.99 millimeter, and it's got a resolution of 45,000 pixels, and it's usually used in a tiny little endoscope, which is like a little string that again goes inside your body and helps monitor things inside your body. There's some more stuff that I decided to skip because not very interesting. And now we get into something that I alluded to earlier, which is, as soon as I can translate it, it's desalination, which in layman's terms, it's the process of turning salt water from the ocean into drinking fresh water for human consumption.
So basically, it's another form of a filtration device.
No, it is the filtration device. It's the method of filtrating seawater and fresh water.
of the filtration device was like
Yes,
born in Israel.
the concept and the actual devices themselves.
I did not realize that.
Because again, we needed it more than most because of our main water source, which
Yeah.
was dwindling. So that's why we needed to get creative. Of course, we also imported it to other places, including Gaza. And look how grateful they've been. Now, that is it for uh, the first half. Now, for the things that I think you're going to say are pretty obvious,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Let's hear 'em.
I don't know if you knew this, but this country not a very safe place to live in, right? We get a lot of
That goes
war.
without saying.
Yeah, we get a lot of wars. We got a lot of enemies, and therefore, just like what we had with this, we needed to get creative. And so, what you're gonna see for a bit here, the next category, we have weapons.
Yep.
And within the category of weapons, or at least as it's classified here, security and defense, we've got several uh, rifles, combat rifles, including the Uzi.
Oh,
The
okay.
what?
I said, oh, okay, cool. Like I know that one, but I didn't know that's Israeli.
You've heard of the Uzi?
Yeah,
Cool.
I live in a
So
society that's obsessed with guns.
in Canada?
North American culture. We're America light, so if they fucking know about it, we know about it.
All right. I just thought you were a little more cultured than that.
We don't, no, no, 50. We don't use them, but we're well aware what
You're
they
aware
are.
of them.
Yeah. So when I say I know what it is, I'm not gonna say it's because we use them. It's because it's in our media. It's like it's one of those things.
Okay, so now you know that the Uzi was invented in Israel. By the way, Uzi is the name of the guy that created it. Uzi is an Israeli name.
That makes sense because a lot of the Winchester and the Colt and what have you are named after people as well. So that makes sense.
There's, like I said, there's the Uzi, the Galil, the Negev, and of course, the Tavor.
I don't know them by any of those names.
Yeah, well, these are the official names.
Yeah.
All of these, minus the Uzi, are still being used in the IDF still to this day, alongside the corner shot.
Oh, that's cool.
That's not the gun. That's the corner shot is the case. It's the case to it's a way to carry around your rifle and weapons.
Oh.
Specifically for when you're fighting inside a urban environment. And lastly, on the category of guns, we have the Pigeon. Now, this is an M16, but I'm specifically referring to the target on the top with the little window thing. That's
it's like a fancy kind of sight.
It's a fancy sight that's very, very accurate and very useful to shoot with.
Now, as someone who has served in the military, have you used any of these in training?
No, I only ever used an M16, and I wasn't well connected enough to get the sight. The only thing I was somehow able to squeeze was a better gun butt and a fancy handle.
Okay.
Now, of course, I could have tried harder to get these things, but I didn't. So that's that. Now, the next category is missiles. And I did not include a single picture for any of these because even if I did, I don't think either one of us could be able to tell the difference. They're missile. Well, I mean,
a missile's a missile.
You probably know what a missile looks like, right?
A missile's a missile.
Yeah. So this is why we got a missile speed round. So we've got the Luz Gabrielle, the Python 4 and Python 5. No idea what happened to the other three. a Derby, Popeye, Delilah. These are just names of missiles. I'm swear I'm
Yeah,
not even.
I figured. I figured.
This is what they chose to name them.
I
Uh,
figured.
Space, Dokran, uh, uh, Mighty Thunder, Kalanit, and Chatzav, which are both named names of plants, flowers to be specific. Acular, Spike, Tammuz, and Laura.
Hmm.
No idea who names these things. Now, the next subcategory, I think the first thing on it is something that I know you know for a fact because we actually talked about it in the recent weeks and months. The Iron Dome system.
Yes.
It's a system that is specifically designed to intercept incoming rockets. Remember, it's a
Not
rocket
an
launching
actual
system.
dome like
What?
Donald Trump thinks.
What?
It's not an actual dome like Donald Trump thinks.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Oh my!
Oh my god, that was so stupid. But anyways,
I mean, it's Donald Trump,
yeah.
but so it's a rocket launching system, but it's not used to attack. It's used to defend. It recognizes incoming missiles, primarily from terror organizations like Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, and others, and intercepts them in midair. It
Mm.
just launches a rocket that follows the heat signature of the incoming missiles, and it blows itself up near the missile, causing the missile itself to get burned up the in the heat. Now, this is the main one. Now, there are other rocket launching systems that are specifically designed to intercept missiles, other missiles, bigger missiles with longer range, like the Arrow 2 and the Arrow 3. Again, no idea what happened to the Arrow 1. This is the most shocking out of this. Lightning 1 and Lightning 8. What happened to the other 7?
Not important enough, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. David's slingshot.
No, that makes sense.
Again, no idea who names these things.
Nope, but I love it.
And here's another one, which they somehow decided to nickname, in Hebrew at least, a wind coat. The English name is armored shield protection, which is much more plausible. It's a system that's built on tanks and armored vehicles, and it's meant to intercept and redirect incoming missiles and RPGs. Here's another one, which for some reason the English name is Iron Fist, but the Hebrew name translates to Porcupine Arrow. I don't know.
Okay.
There's another system to defend jet planes from missiles called Music.
Okay.
And there's another shielding system called an Armadillo. Basically, yeah. I think you get the gist.
Yeah, I've heard of the armadillo.
Yeah, there's as far as planes and flying vehicles, we have Nesher and Kfir, which are both Israeli jet planes, alongside with Lavi. There's unmanned planes like Hev Shamayim and Zeke. And yeah, as far as ocean-based, sea-based vehicles, there is the Seagull, which is an unmanned boat, an unmanned reconnaissance boat. There's satellites, including Ofek and Techstar. And now we get to the category that I'm a little bit more familiar with: armored vehicles. And of course, you probably heard of it without my help, but the Merkava tank.
Well, not by that name, but yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, it's The Merkava Mark IV is the most advanced tank in the world. The Merkava itself is an original design by Israelis alongside its younger cousin, the Namer, which is basically the body of the tank without the top half,
Hmm.
and it's mainly used as an APC, armored personnel carrier. Similar in concept is of course the Akhzarit, which is another APC which used to be the body of a tank. They just removed the top of it.
Hmm.
Another popular APC used by the IDF is the Puma.
Nice.
Yeah, which is not aside from just being an APC, it's mainly used to defuse bombs and landmines and shells in in a combat zone. It's primarily used by the IDF combat engineering systems alongside, and now we move into some more robotics area with the Bambi.
Nice.
That's what it's called, the Bambi. It's an automated robot meant to locate landmines and other hidden bombs and defuse them.
Hmm.
But if you really want to put the pressure on landmines and bombs in hidden deep underground, you get the big guns. You call the D9.
Holy shit. That was like a bulldozer.
It is a bulldozer that's specifically meant to clear entire areas. Like it takes apart roads, it takes apart buildings when it needs to. It hits like a tank. I can even tell you a story that one time, because Israelis being what they are, someone drove recklessly and actually managed to flip a Merkava tank on its side.
How the fuck is?
You don't know Israel. I mean, when the Americans built the Hummer, they designed them specifically so that they will never be able to get flip turned.
Mm.
And then they gave it to the IDF, and they managed to do it. I mean, reckless driving is kind of in our blood. I mean,
Yep.
we're a country that's mainly known for wars, and we have more casualties from road accidents than we do in all of our wars put together. Put that into perspective. So after going back to my story, after those IDF people somehow managed to flip turn the Merkava tank on its side or on its top, there was no putting it back right. So they got a D9. They got its big thing.
The bucket.
The bucket thing underneath it.
Oh, that's what it's called, the bucket.
All right, if you say so. So put it underneath the tank, and then it got it straight back up again.
That makes sense. No,
that's how powerful the D9 is. And the final thing,
those type of machines. I'm more familiar with like the bulldozer type machines.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how I know they're called a bucket.
In a middle ground. And the final thing we've got here, as far as the military stuff goes, we have Katlanit, which is basically it's a remote controlled gun situated on top of the tank or the armored vehicle outside of it, and it's remote controlled from the inside. So you don't have to actually be expose yourself and be outside to use it to shoot.
Nice.
And now we've got some more computer-based stuff. Like, I'm assuming you're familiar with IBM, right?
Of course.
That's a terrible picture that I chose. So yeah,
very familiar with IBM.
It's invented in Israel. IBM is an Israeli invention alongside Intel. Intel is an Israeli company. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not.
here's something I'm willing to bet you've used at least once in your life, if not more. The flash drive.
Really?
Israelis invented the flash drive.
Hmm. Interesting.
Now, here's some company names I'm going to run by you. Are you familiar with Babylon, the translation software, not the Empire? What?
No, I am actually not.
Right? I imagine it's not something that really traveled well overseas, but it's
Oh, no,
basically
yeah, that's not what I'm saying. It's like more like I've never had reason to use translation software, so I have no clue.
all right, cool.
No.
I mean, from what I've been able to gather, it's not very much in use today.
Okay.
But what it was, did solve a lot of usage back in the day. There's also Move It, which is a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of an app that helps with um, with navigation and GPS
Okay.
alongside Waze, which is also an
I
Israeli.
know that one. That one's actually one of the more popular ones nowadays.
Now, and it's invented in Israel. It's an Israeli idea.
Hmm.
And so is Get, or in its more popular name, Get Taxi. Do you use Get?
Nope.
It's basically it's a taxi service. It's an app that calls taxis to your area.
Yeah. Our taxi services have their own apps.
All right. So I guess it's an internal thing.
Yeah.
There's also AnyDo or Any.do, which is an Israeli app that helps manage tasks. It's a test manager that also work with Facebook, Twitter, and email.
That's probably an internal one.
Yeah. And speaking of which, here's someone that's not very much internal and something I think you might be familiar with. Not Israeli, but it was invented by a Jew. Facebook.
Well, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, invented by a Jew, and well, fuck him. So
Pretty much.
that's it for that. Here's some things I deliberately did not put on the list because I'm pretty sure those were internal to begin with. You've heard of ICQ?
No.
Cool. It predated Messenger and Facebook and all that, but it wasn't an Israeli invention. So it was Weeks. It's a platform to build websites.
I've heard of
So,
that
yeah.
one.
You heard of Weeks?
Weeks. Is it spelled Wix?
Yeah.
We pronounce it Wix over here. But yes, I'm familiar with that one. I've used it.
I did not know how you pronounce it. So yeah, it's Wix.
I've used it.
So there's something that to do with music. Have you heard of Mellograph? I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, I have.
oh, you have?
Can't say I have.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Describe it. Maybe it's like there's something similar over here.
Cool.
No, describe it.
It's a device that shows melody in a graphic form.
I've never gone that technical with music, so I cannot say.
All right, cool. Now here's something that I unfortunately couldn't find. I found a picture, realized there was a wrong picture, and deleted it, and forgot to search for a new one. But I'm pretty sure you've heard of Krav Maga.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Israeli martial art.
I knew that because there is an episode of How I Met Your Mother where that is actually part of the story. You ever seen that show?
No, I've seen clips and
Okay.
parts of it.
So this
no.
so Ted's storyline in this one is he his whole shtick is he wants to find the right person, and he ends up going out again with somebody who he broke up with years before on her birthday. And this time around, he ends up doing the same thing again, but now she studies Krav Maga. And when he heard it earlier in the episode, he thought it was like a form of like Tai Chi, well, not Tai Chi, but like a form of meditation or what have you. And then at the end, he's like, nope, it's an Israeli form of martial arts because they show him getting the crap kicked out of him by this girl doing Krav Maga.
Yeah. I haven't actually studied Krav Maga much, but from what I could gather, it's basically go for the balls.
Pretty much.
Yeah. As far as vehicles, we had, I should say, the Susita, an Israeli-produced and designed car. So, like, the Mitsubishis and the Mercedes and the Peugeots, we had the Sasita
Never heard of
for a
it.
while. It was shit. That's why you probably never heard of it.
It
It
doesn't
was
look
very
comfortable.
quickly discontinued. The one good side of it was incredibly light,
Mm.
mainly
Yeah,
because it
it
was
doesn't look that big.
mainly because it was made primarily from fiberglass.
Yeah, that'd do it. Well, if
Now,
I'm being honest, all our cars are made of that too now.
yeah, well, part of the reason they discontinued it is because they were repeatedly being eaten by camels. Because
Yeah,
apparently,
we don't have
yeah,
that problem here.
yeah. So, but we do. So that's why they stopped it on this side.
That is a conversation I never thought I'd ever have.
Me neither. Now, agriculture. I think we talked about this, and you haven't heard of the irrigation dripper system.
I can't say I'm familiar with that one. No.
Basically, it's this little thing that you build on top of pipes that you use for gardening and agriculture stuff.
Well,
Where
yeah, we have that concept over here. I just don't know if this specifically is over here.
I'm pretty sure that the concept uh, all around was invented in Israel.
Hmm.
But basically, it's like it rather than spray the entire field, it just slowly drips.
I know concepts like that are old enough that that is possible, but if not, definitely in your side of the world for sure.
Yeah. Now, I actually worked at the for a month or so at the factory that made these, and that factory specifically ships all over the world. So maybe, as far as I know, that's the only factory that produces these.
Hmm.
Also on the top on the category of agriculture, the cherry tomato.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that actually traveled to your area.
Oh, dude, yeah, you see them in all sorts of stuff.
Now, we invented it.
Did
It was
not-
invented by two Israelis.
Hmm.
Actually, one Israeli, I think. But on the same subject, the miniature watermelon.
I've never heard of a miniature watermelon.
I actually seen them. I mean, they're
I
the
love
size.
watermelon,
But
and I love watermelon.
so these are a little bit more compact. But would you be willing to try a yellow watermelon?
Yeah,
Oh, really? Because I actually tried it. Wasn't that different from a regular watermelon? Just yellow.
I'm the type of person I'm willing to try anything once.
Cool.
Well, almost anyway. But
I just don't really think. I just don't know why they thought watermelon was good yellow. But that's beside the point. Here's something that I'm guessing you don't have on your end, because I couldn't even find an English name for it, but a solar boiler. Are you familiar with this?
nope.
Basically, that's how we keep our waters warm.
We have
Like,
water heaters.
I'm sure it's a different technology, but from what I was led to believe, this is an Israeli invention. It's mainly used in the Middle East.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's not something you see over here. Like I said, we have electric water heaters.
Yeah, so this is not electric. This is solar, because we have more sun
I'm saying like that's the technology we use over here.
because you don't have much need for this. We
Right.
do, probably. There's also a sharav chimney, which looks like this. Basically, it's an energy tower that primarily uses wind power to produce electricity. It's a green
That makes sense.
energy. Now on to the final category, foods.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of the Israeli couscous by any chance?
I've heard of couscous.
So yeah, this is the Israeli couscous, also known as the Ben Gurion couscous.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's basically used from the same materials as pasta, but in this particular shape.
Hmm.
And these next ones, we actually talked about them in our snacks episode, soup almonds.
Yes, yes, we did.
So the Bamba
Mm-hmm.
and the Beastly.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one we haven't talked about yet: the Jerusalem mix, Jerusalem grill mix.
The hell is that?
Uh,
Looks good.
basically, it's kind of a grill mixture of the internal organs of chickens, primarily liver, spleen, and hearts of a chicken, mixed in with turkey breasts and fried with some onions and some condiments like cumin, and among other things.
You lost me at internal organs.
Dude, what do you think liver and spleen and hearts are?
I
You've never
dislike
eaten
liver.
those? What?
I vehemently dislike liver. I've never
Me
had
too.
heart, and I've never had spleen, and I will never have them.
Well, I've never tried spleen either, and I despise liver and hearts.
My mom
I
and dad love it, but I cannot stand it. Yeah, like if I ever have to have it, I have to douse it in so much sauce to kill that iron taste.
ugh, I will never have that. Period. I
Well,
mainly
I was I
mainly
don't want to
focus
say
on.
forced, but that was what we had to eat, so I had to eat it. And
Yeah, I'm like you. I mainly focus on the meat side of it.
exactly, yeah. Like I said, I'll never eat an internal organ.
Yeah. Um, on last year's Independence Day, I was invited by some friends for a barbecue, and they had hearts, they had livers and whatnot. And then I noticed that this big round thing on the barbecue grill being grilled, and I was like, "What's that?" It's the balls of a bull. Bull testicles.
You.
I'm like, why did I chose to come here? Well, to be fair, that was a catastrophe, but that's a story for another time. And the final food we're going to talk about here, that's fatit. It's a special type of cheese developed in the Israeli city of Tzfat, hence
It
the name.
looks like a weird ice cream puck.
But it's cheese. I'm telling you. So you told me you had an Xbox, right?
Yeah, I got an Xbox One.
Did you ever have the Xbox 360?
I've had them all.
Did you know that the Kinect was invented in Israel?
I did not. Cool.
Well, now you do.
Now, I had one, and I didn't use it all that often. But probably the best instance of me using it was when I scared the shit out of my dad.
How?
Because my dad doesn't understand technology all that well. So
it's evident by the fact that he keeps calling you rather than sending a message.
Exactly. Things like that. He refuses to learn how to use a computer. I don't know if it's because he's embarrassed, because my dad only has an 8th grade education, but that's beside the point. Anyways, my family was over, and I used the Kinect to voice activate to turn on the Xbox and go on YouTube, and it scared the shit out of my dad.
Ooh. Hey, at least you got some good usage out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the final thing...
I do want to say, though, my friends told me this one. I never got a chance to experience it, but the Kinect was quite the experience to use if you were playing the game Alien Isolation. Because the point of that game is when the xenomorph is around, you're not supposed to make any noise. But if you had your Kinect hooked up, it would pick up on anything going on in the room.
Oh, no.
And it would use, oh, yeah.
This is where technology is uniting with aliens against you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the final thing, and again, remember, I said things that couldn't have been created in Israel or by Jews. Now, there is one thing that was invented by Jews specifically. Pretty sure you know it. Just not many people are aware that was created by Jews, even though it's famous around the world. Christianity.
Well, yeah, duh.
And that's all she wrote.
Remember, folks, Christ is a Jew.
Was. And so are his followers.
Technically still a Jew.
Well, I mean, if you want to go that route, yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at it, Christ was never Christian. There's no way you can call that guy Christian. He was, is, and
I thought
always
you
will
were.
be a Jew.
Yeah, Christianity was invented about 100 years after.
Mm-hmm. Hell, the
So
fucking Old Testament is your guys' Torah.
no, the Old Testament is the Bible.
Yeah.
So what's your what's gonna be your? Oh yeah, we talked about this. It's another hockey thing, right?
It is. But this one's gonna be is a little different. So a week after we do that episode is the annual NHL All-Star game. So and it's taking place in Canada in Toronto. And recently, for I believe the third time in All-Star game history, a team has had 5 players chosen, and they're from my favorite hockey team, the Vancouver Canucks. So I was just going to go through just the history of the NHL All-Star game because it has some very humble origins, and then just show the evolution of to where it is now.
All right. But that is so for next week.
Mm-hmm.
So until then, why don't you tell the good people of the interwebs where can they find you? If
You can find me staying warm on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman, and of course here in the Northern Entertainment Group doing my usual stuff with 50.
And some of that usual stuff includes this show every Thursday, and occasionally the greatest show in the galaxy every Monday, where we talk about the greatest show in the galaxy, Doctor Who, and I also talk even more Doctor Who on my own YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek. I do weekly reviews of every single Doctor Who episode from 1963 all the way up to 2023. And you can also check out all the other wonderful channels from the wider Benverse at large, like Something to Talk About, the So Dagon Wrestling, which is still on hiatus as far as I'm concerned, Galaxy Geeks, Multiverse of Geekdom, Movie Lovers Unite, The Midnight Cinema, 8-Time Reviews, and of course, In the Front Row, which is not pictured in this thumbnail. And of course, remember everyone, we are doing this for this guy right here, our dearly departed Ben. We miss you so much every day, and it's been already been over a year since we've done this, and I'm pretty sure it's already been over a year since we did the big live stream for
Yep,
Ben.
that was right at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And probably the
So
last time that I'm not gonna lie, all that took all of my content creator energy went all into that, and I haven't regained it since.
so that's why you're not putting that much effort into Sodig and wrestling.
Uh Partially, yeah. That's more behind the scenes stuff, but yeah.
All right. We'll talk about it behind the scenes then. So, in memory of our good friend Ben, and once again, always just keep all these people in mind. Remember, we have already crossed the 100 days since the October 7th massacre, and all these people. Some of the people you're seeing here are no longer with us, but they're still held in captivity by Hamas, and they need to be out of there now. Bring them home now is the slogan that we use. So yeah, keep these people in mind. If you've managed to uh, memorize any of the faces you're seeing on screen, uh, just remember every single one of those people is a world onto their own. So keep them in your hearts and keep them in your minds. And whether it's whether you're proud of an invention created by your country, or whether it's any of these people or any of the other geeky topics we like to talk about every once in a while, always remember to let your geek flag fly. That's all we're really here for. So thank you all for watching, and like I said, bring them home now. Good night.